Hello, Frog fans. Welcome back to Postgame Beers podcast. Man, that intro always fires me up. I love that. I love that stuff. We are the Lupton Drinking Club. I'm your host tonight, Kyle Malloy, joined by my co-host, Jacob Sailors.
Something like that.
We've also got our producer, Crazy Ray Cartwright. He might be in bed at some point, but he's still here with us, and we appreciate the effort that he's putting out tonight just to be here. So welcome, guys. Jacob, I want to start here. I'm a little disappointed. You're not decked out in your Havana Nights charity gala.
Hell yeah.
Coat. Let's just say this was the talk of social media on Saturday night, and I want to know more about this sport coat.
Man, all right. Where do I begin? Okay, so my lovely girlfriend is part of this women's club, the Dallas Cotillion Club. I was calling it Dallas Coalition Club, and I was like, man, that sounds really militaristic. Like, that's cool, though, whatever.
It sounds a little intense.
Dallas, yeah, Dallas Cotillion Club. I call it the Legion of Powerful Women.
Is that what, like whenever you're a kid and you're going through church, you join like the Awanas Club? Is that
I don't know what that is.
The grown-up version of this?
I've heard of, if you've ever heard of Junior League, you can compare it to that. I don't know what your example is, so maybe. But I don't know, man. They do events for charity and stuff. So this was like a charity gala. It was real fancy at some hotel. I don't remember, but it was Havana Nights themed. And my girlfriend is a big fan of this boutique called Lily Pulitzer. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe not. Anyway,
they heard of their prize.
Yeah, so they make clothes similar to the style of jacket I had, and she saw online that they had a men's jacket, and it wasn't for sale anywhere. So she got in touch with them, and they like made it for her so I could wear this thing.
Wow.
And it's. Okay, it wasn't cheap, so it can't be like the one time I wear it. So this jacket we'll be running it back for other events for sure.
We see it Saturday.
Yeah, not a sponsor. Just so we're gonna put that out there, but it actually looks amazing. So well done.
It was a lot of fun, dude. It was. I mean, she was worried I was gonna like feel weird about wearing it. I was like, nah, give me that damn thing. F yeah, I'm wearing that jacket.
When you're comfortable in your own masculinity, you can wear pink and flowers and all sorts of stuff. So.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, though, so glad I did it.
Way to go.
Boys, I have something for y'all.
Yeah, go for it.
So while I spent all weekend in bed and today, just bedridden, I could not stop reading about the hypothetical that has swept Twitter.
Yeah, I had a feeling this was coming up.
100 men versus one gorilla.
Yeah, we got to settle this once and for all. Let's just end the debate right here on this show.
Easy win over gorilla.
You're high.
You're high, dude. Listen, here's why. Because I think you're looking at just the pure physics of it. What you're underestimating is that gorilla is going survival mode from the jump.
Literal ape shit?
You're going to have
literal ape shit.
You might have. Here's what's going to happen. As soon as that bell rings, 85 of those 100 men are going to be pounding the windows and the doors. Get me out of here.
Dude, and what's going to happen is they're going to see their first two compadres get their arms ripped off.
And it's panic
and lose all will to fight.
So
it's over from there.
So we're taking the mindset of the people involved in this.
Oh, you have to.
Well, I'm just saying, from a physical standpoint, there's no way to stand up against that many guys.
No, if you have
swarm after swarm of 10 after 10 after 10.
Right. If you have 10 or if you have 100 men, with like male attributes, right? Human male attributes. And you just shut their brain off.
I think the prompt was 100 friends, which I thought was hilarious because I'm like, all right, let me think of 100 friends. Some of these guys are not in it to win it.
Dude, yes, if you get 100 samurai or 100 Vikings, yes, they're winning. But just an average sample of 100 men, dude, that gorilla is going into the mindset needed to win from the jump. And you might have 15 of the 100 men match that energy, and that's not enough. The rest of them are going to be balling up in the corner, like pounding the door, let me out, let me out.
I think if you have 35 to 40 that are willing to die, I think you're good.
Well, they're dead.
Because while he's killing another guy, you've got other guys who are willing to, die for that other guy. So I don't know. I guess we disagree here.
I think you're overestimating the warrior mentality of the modern man. Like you're not getting 45%.
I did just watch Last of the Mohicans, so maybe I've got something different in my mind.
Yeah.
Went to work today with a lot of intensity. All right.
Yeah, I'm Team Gorilla on this, though.
Big time.
Hey, we have a recap of Baylor. Should we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. First game sponsored by Long Drink. Refreshingly different taste. Finland's favorite drink, available in a variety of flavors tonight. I've got the cranberry. Had this in my fridge for a while, and honestly, I think I've only tried one other one, and it tastes delicious. There's some low sugar packs available now, so head to your favorite dealer, that you buy your booze from, and grab some Long Drink. We love it. So appreciate Long Drink for sponsoring.
While you're enjoying a Long Drink, watch the Dallas Stars and their Finnish mafia with some Long Drink.
Yeah.
That's a
How many
great
Finnish guys
tie-in.
they have? How many guys they have on their team? A couple?
I think they've got 5.
Wow.
5 Finns at least, maybe
1,
6.
2. I think it's 5.
They've pounded. It may not be the Long Drink like the sponsored one, but they've pounded some real Long Drink for sure.
100%.
All right. Game 1. Let's talk about it on Friday night. And I actually want to, after the recap, I really want to get your perspective since you guys were there. Frogs get the series started off with a bang, knocking out Baylor's starter in the first inning by scoring 4 runs. That would prove to be enough at the end, but they took down the Bears 7-2. Story of the night, and I, again, want to hear it from y'all, was our freaking guy, Tommy Lepore. Longest outing of the year. He worked into the 9th inning, 8 2/3 before Cade Udy entered and, closed it out. The last out of the game, 123 pitches. He only gave up 2 runs, 5 hits. He struck out 8, walked 3. Most impressive to me, obviously, going that long was really cool, but throwing 100 miles an hour in the 9th inning, whether that's like sheer adrenaline or the endurance he's built up over the last 6 or 7 games, I don't know, but it's been a minute since we've had a TCU player have that many consecutive quality starts. So he is what a fun night to be in Lupton. I wasn't there. I want to hear it from your perspective. What a fun night to be in Lupton, to watch that and to watch that energy.
What 100 Tommy Lepore's take down the gorilla.
100%.
Let's just
They're
say
going to find a rock on
dude.
the ground and hurl that thing right at that gorilla's skull, and it's game over.
The dude's a freak of nature, man. I mean, just to see him get stronger as the game goes on, start in and start out, it's super impressive. And yeah, I mean, there was a good crowd. What did I see the crowd at? 4,800?
Do you think that was
4,900?
I know they always fluff it up a little bit, but yeah.
I mean, it looked every bit of 4,900 for sure. I mean, by the time the 3rd inning rolled around and the lower bowl opened up, there wasn't a seat to be found. So, but everybody in there was really wanting him to close out that complete game. He didn't get it done, but it almost made for a cooler moment because he got to get the curtain call walk-off, with 1 out to go in the 9th.
I swear that was a nod to former teammate Peyton Tolley when he's underlining the Frogs as he's walking off the mound.
Very cool moment.
Do you think they did that on purpose? Because you're up by 5 runs. Even though those guys on base, they might have just done that to allow him to have that moment, right?
Dude, as good as he was, I mean, they wanted him to finish, but those last two at bats, he had no idea where he was throwing the ball. I mean, let's be real. Like he was missing high. He was missing. I mean, it was like maybe he'll just run into a bat and get a ground out or something. But I mean, look, as fun as it is, I really hope they know what they're doing and they know this is sustainable because we have important games to play, in the next 6-7 weeks. And I just hope he doesn't run out of gas.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is sustainable with his frame and his build. Heck, he was doing
Yeah,
it
you would
last
think so.
year at Wichita State. Towards the end of the year,
Yeah,
he was going
but he wasn't
very long.
he wasn't pitching in the postseason at Wichita State.
Different competition
It
too.
was
right?
tournaments, but Wichita State's version of postseason play.
You got to think it's a different level of competitiveness too. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge concern. I mean, I think they know what they're doing. It's just, I don't know.
But what a weapon to have in the bullpen to save basically everybody for Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
I mean,
You know, and when we talked about it on the deep dish, is like, all right, I feel really good about them winning the series, namely because you have Tommy Laporte and give me him versus anybody in the country.
mhm.
And right there, you start the series out with a win. Now you just have to get one of two for the rest of the weekend.
I have a question. You can table it. You don't have to answer it now, Jacob, but maybe for the deep dish is, do you think teams may consider pitching their ace on Saturdays to like the next 3 series to avoid this?
I mean,
just to guarantee a win against the Frogs?
So
Not guarantee.
I don't
sorry.
know what
have
I don't
a
know
better
why.
shot at. Have a better shot at.
So Carson Bailey, who pitched Saturday for Baylor, is their normal Friday guy.
Okay,
So I can't say for sure that that's what they were doing, but
I'm just saying he's so good. He said, I don't know if it's 7 in a row. I feel like I heard that 70 quality starts in a row. He's had 8 this entire season. That's got to be scary for an opposing team to say, hey, Friday night's going to be really tough. Maybe we can take Saturday and then squeak out Sunday.
It would be extremely disappointing if he got snubbed for first team All-American at this point.
Oh, well, okay. So let's talk about that. He's tied in the conference for most wins at 7. He's also leading the conference in ERA at 2.14. If you just take his conference ERA, it's actually lower, 1.54.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I think he has conference pitcher of the year in the bag.
Unless something happens the last 3 weeks where he just blows up, which won't happen. I mean,
I don't
absolutely.
think so either. I mean, especially just get through that Arizona game, and then you're looking at Cincinnati and Utah.
Yeah.
So
I just feel like he's gotten stronger as the year's gone on.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, he's definitely the story from Friday. I'm glad we're focusing on him. But I will say this, though, for the offense, they came out with a real nice plan against. So we were concerned about, facing lefties. And it's like, all right, I think I said on the deep dish, I think the adjustment they should make against lefties is be willing to walk. Well, they had 4 in the first, 3 innings and a couple hit by pitch. So, getting guys on and just not getting themselves out against lefties.
Yeah, the approach was definitely noticeable, especially in that first inning.
Yeah, they finished with 7 walks in the game. I mean, just really sound offensive approach, a couple clutch base hits. So
shout out to Cole Kramer, 3 for 4 in the night. Had that home run at the end, which was awesome. Didn't really matter that much, but it was awesome. So
yeah, you had 4 guys with multiple hit games. You had Jack Bell with a couple of hits, Nolan Traeger, Noah Franco had 2 hits. Carson got the thing going in the first inning with a leadoff base hit. So
you want to talk about that first inning? How about Stroyer Strohsnyder? Gets down 0-2, battles back, draws a walk.
Yeah.
After fouling off several tough pitches.
Nice.
And then Kramer comes back and he works a deep count before an opposite field single drives in a run.
Yep.
Or no, loads the bases. I think they held Carson at third.
Very, very nice game all around for our squad.
Wish I was there. Yeah, I was pretty jealous. I wasn't.
Ton of fun, man. It was good energy. Proud of the crowd for showing out. 4,900's a great crowd. So.
That's awesome. All right. Game 2 brought to you by our friends at Chinook Seedery. Elevate your snack game with a protein-packed sunflower seed delight. 8 distinct flavors. We've enjoyed just about all of them at this point. Whether you're catching a game at Lupton, maybe you're at the beach, sunflower seeds from Chinook. Use the code LDC for 10% off every purchase at Chinook. Seriously, the best seeds ever. So Frogs looking for a Saturday series win and scored first, which was a nice, they actually did that every game this weekend, which was kind of a nice, I don't know, nice sign, I guess, for the offense after a rough week before that. But in the fourth, Jack Arthur got the scoring started with a solo home run. And by the fifth, Frogs were up 7-1. Like it was just a kind of an onslaught after that. They cruised their way to an 8-4 win. So a couple hitters to mention. Stroh-Snyder went 4 for 5. Noah Franco went 3 for 5. The bottom three batters in the lineup, Arthur, Silva, and Jack Bell, they all had a couple hits, which is that's a great thing to see. And, Caden Parker, so I was there on Saturday. Caden Parker had a really nice outing, 6 innings. He only gave up 1 run on 2 hits. I thought he could have stayed in longer. But maybe they're still trying to stretch him out, from the injury.
94 pitches is
it's a lot
there.
It's a lot, but he wasn't necessarily struggling, is what I'm saying. They just, switched him out for Braden Sloan, and he entered. I guess I'm going to table the conversation for Braden. Maybe you guys want to dive into it a little bit more on Thursday, but Braden Sloan came in, gave up 3 runs. Lewis popped in the 8th, shut things down, struck out the side in the 9th, and really, kind of closed it out. So kind of a fun day. It was, Hispanic Heritage Month. It was the, Ranas Cornudas uniforms, which I thought were pretty slick. The only problem was I was actually sitting a little bit farther away than usual, and they really looked like Clemson to me because the red and the, it was kind of a weird vibe, in terms of like what it looked like. But otherwise, another win. Frogs win the series. It was a fun Saturday.
To add on to what you said about the offense, so you had 8 of the 9. All right, let's say this: 7 of the 9 guys in the lineup with a hit. Chase Brunson is the 8th guy who he did not have a hit, but he had 3 walks. And then the only guy to not reach base is Nolan Traeger, who's been on fire every game previous to this one. So another really nice day from the offense. And we should point out too, this is against left-handed pitching.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Right.
It's the biggest takeaway.
I have no concerns about Nolan long-term because he's had such a great season as a freshman. He did struggle on Saturday. It was just part of the deal. He didn't look comfortable against the pitching, but you know what? When they're throwing 4 or 5 pitchers in and everybody comes in and it's just, you can't get comfortable. So yeah, he struggled, but.
Cademan, awesome. Like you said, Braden Sloan, man, they go to Arizona this week. And I really think he's going to have to get back on track for them to win that series. I think they're going to need him to be, first half of the season, Braden Sloan.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll dive more into Braden on Thursday, but I don't know. Kind of alarming, I would say.
We need him in the postseason to be a long reliever. And if he can't do that, or if he's going 2 innings and giving up 3 runs, like that's really not good enough to make it out of a regional or super for sure.
I think we may need him to be a starter.
Because we can't figure out somebody on Sunday.
Sunday's rough.
Hey, I was just looking at this. So we scored 8 runs, but we left 13 on. This thing could have gotten ugly.
Actually, that's good. That's a good and bad sign, right?
And dude, Kyle, to your point
on Friday
about Cademan, I do think that you're finally seeing, what Cademan can be. A couple weeks post injury, Perk tells us all the time that it takes a while to build back up after missing, some time, and I think he's finally hitting his stride.
Yeah, it'd be real cool to see him repeat this against Arizona.
Sorry, I'm about to sneeze. It might come. There was one inning I felt like I looked back and I was like, okay, he doesn't look comfortable. And then you know what? He just turned it right around and he was back in it. And I was worried that he was going to get pulled in the second or third, I can't remember. And then he pulled out another 3 innings, out. So, man, it was awesome. It struggled with a Saturday and Sunday consistent starter. So if Cademan can be that guy on Saturdays, man, I feel much more comfortable at a regional, just having at least 2 guys that we can count on to get through 6 or 7 quality, innings, and then figure out the rest, with Lewis and Braden. Go for it.
And not to look too far ahead, but if TCU ends up a 2 seed, you might be in a position where you can throw Cademan in that game 1 against the 3 seed.
Love it.
And still have Lepore going up against the 1 seed in game 2.
100%.
All right, let's go to Sunday.
All right, game 3, brought to you by Anduno. Their mission is simple: to make travel and recovery easier. Exploring new places, recovering after a workout, they take care of it all. So they understand the importance of staying active and feeling refreshed. They offer high quality travel gear, athletic recovery. If you use the code LDC 2025, you get 10% off your order. Anduno was started by TCU alumni. We know them personally. They're great guys. So if you want an awesome backpack, not just a backpack, I want to say gear, that's going to give you a lot of different, opportunities to kind of pack some stuff in. You're going far, you're traveling abroad, you're doing something, you're going away for the weekend. They've got some great stuff. So plus 10% goes to charity. Support Anduno.
Sir.
All right. Not the Sunday that we wanted to fend off Baylor and get that sweep. We didn't get it, but Frogs lost 6-3. There were 2 sliding door moments I want to talk about in this game, and both were hits for the Frogs. You may have different ones. They were long fly balls, and both of them were knocked down by the wind. So the first one was Carson Bowen. He hit a ball to deep right center that any other day in Lupton would have gone over the fence. And the right fielder, he backed up to the fence and then had to sprint up to catch it because it got knocked down so far. So that was one. You could see the look on his face when he ran back to the dugout. He was just like in disbelief. Like, are you kidding me? The second one, I want to say it was Jack Arthur. I think it was Jack. He hit out to left field. It looked gone from the, at bat. And then the left fielder caught it, at the fence, and that would have tied the game at 4-4. And so I feel like those 2 things, had they changed, either we would have been up or we would at least been tied. But anyway, Brassfield had a decent game. He only gave up 2 runs. He pitched 6 innings, which I didn't realize I watched the whole game, and I didn't realize he pitched the last 6 innings. So it's a good sign. He only gave up 2 runs, but the Frogs offense was just kind of on the bed all day. Like they just never woke up, even with Kirk's, getting thrown out of the game, So anyway,
dude, it's weird to say that because I was pretty locked into this game, and even talking about it right now, I don't really have a great feel for, I don't really have a grasp around. I mean, you say like the offense never really woke up. They had 10 hits.
They did.
It felt like sequencing game.
So it was the hits were there. It was the hits with players, in scoring position.
Right. There were multiple innings where we had at least one guy on, sometimes multiple guys on with 1 out.
Yeah. And
then we go like line out, strikeout, or strikeout, fly out, or, whatever. So it's like, are you familiar with the term sequencing?
Carry on.
Like it's to describe when you get your hits. So in this game, you can have 10 hits, but if they come, early in the inning, you have first and third, 1 out, and then you go out. Well, that's cool. You had 2 hits, or you could have 5 hits in a game, but if they all come back to back to back, now you have, 4 or 5 runs on the board, but you only have 5 hits.
Well, hell, we beat Kansas with 4 hits on Saturday.
That was a sequencing game, right? But it worked the other way around.
I think
we got them all. We got them all in the right times.
Kind of the middle of the order in this one. To your sequencing thing, where Kramer leaves 4 on, Franco leaves 2 on, and Brunson. That's 7 of the 9 that were left on base right there.
Not going to have many games where that happens.
No.
I think Mason Brassfield might be your 3rd starter going forward.
Dude,
they can't figure out. Nobody's stepping up to take that 3rd. Like you had Baumler get a shot, 4 runs in 3 innings.
It's so weird with Baumler and Brassfield because they've both been given multiple opportunities to start, and they've kind of scuttled
when is
around.
Brassfield? When has Brassfield had multiple opportunities?
Didn't
he
he
had
have
one bad game against Arizona State. What's the other time?
Was that it? Is this his only start?
It's the only
No,
one I remember.
he's had multiple starts.
I
But-
feel bad for Baumler, man. I don't know
But
about y'all, but I just
He
he's
just
had
needs more time in the oven.
But on the other side, you see these guys, both of them come out of the pen and they have been lights out of the pen.
Yeah. I mean, that's the same issue with Braden, right? Like he's a better reliever than he is a starter.
I mean, Braden's career-wise, yeah.
He started 2 games this year.
Felt like
Brassfield.
more. Yeah.
Chase Brunson has
remember
reached
the other
safely in 43 games per TCU stats. That is insane.
It's so hard to do. It's amazing.
Man, good for that guy.
I think his first start was against Tarleton. Brassfield's.
Against Tarleton.
Yeah.
So 3 innings, no runs, 4 strikeouts.
And then the other one was against Arizona State. Yeah. I thought he's gotten another chance, but
I think he's about to. I bet you this weekend he starts.
Wouldn't be surprised.
well, I'm here for it then.
Yeah.
So are you guys
They have to figure that out.
just to switch gears a little bit, how do you guys feel about 2 of 3 from Baylor? Like, what's the overall vibe with you guys?
You love taking 2 of 3, but then you see what your other conference mates are doing, and dropping that Sunday game really hurts in the standings.
I'd feel a lot better if we took the series against UCF. And so you can say, hey, it's just one more series. Who cares? But they need, if they're going to compete with, they're only 2 games back, right? But they have to start sweeping
2
teams.
games back of what?
The Big 12.
I guess technically they're 4 back in the loss column.
Yeah.
Because the unbalanced schedule.
They're going to need the Jayhawks to do them a big solid.
I want to say West Virginia.
Well, then they'll win the conference.
I think West Virginia has a tough schedule coming up. That's why I say that.
They have what? Texas Tech, Kansas State, and Kansas.
Where's the Tech series?
In West Virginia.
Oh, that's a sweep.
Yeah, see, okay, so I'm taking the opposite. Like, okay, first of all, my expectations were 2 out of 3, right? Because we talked about on Thursday, Baylor's pesky enough, to get one. They have decent arms. They're very similar to UCF, where they have a lot of decent arms and some pesky guys in the lineup. Nobody's going to wow you. But, it felt like that was the same team as what we saw in Orlando. Just we hit the ball better at home than we did out in Orlando. So we got 2 out of 3.
I think more frustrating than the one game is the fact that, okay, Friday night, it's a guaranteed win almost every night because of Tommy.
Yeah.
And on Sundays, I just feel like, okay, get to their bullpen and you'll figure it out. And they couldn't do that,
Yeah, but we just talked. It's not like they just went quietly into the night. They just didn't get the right hit at the right time.
I know.
Right.
I know.
So
West Virginia
has. Your point,
real
sorry,
quick,
go ahead.
West Virginia has Tech at home, which I don't think that's a sweep, but hey, Tech is getting friskier as the season goes on. They play at Kansas State. They could lose that series easily. And then they host Kansas. they host Kansas, who is right behind them and right above us.
Yeah, that's for the Big 12 right there.
So Ray, you said you felt worse about only getting 2 out of 3 because of what West Virginia's doing.
Yeah.
I actually look at it the opposite. It's like, well, if West Virginia's never going to lose anyway, who cares? Like, let's fight to get that second host spot, and then let's go to the post. I've conceded the conference because West Virginia's not losing.
Were you guys surprised? Were you surprised that D1 still projected the Frogs to host after the UCF series loss?
No, their metrics are still pretty good.
And plus, they look at the future.
Yeah. And the RPI is still legit, right? We're what?
Yeah, we're, I think, 16 right now. Maybe 17. But
gonna drop after Utah, but if we can keep a top 20 and be number 2 in the conference, maybe.
So here's the way I look at it. I think we need to win the Arizona series.
Yeah.
Have to.
Because I think we need, well, I don't know if it's must win, but I think it goes a long way because we need something on our resume that sticks out. Like we lost to Arkansas, we lost Southern Miss, we lost to Arizona State, and now you're going to tell me we're going to lose to Arizona. It's like, all right.
No,
I mean, they've had a nice season, but what wows you about their resume? Like when it comes to deciding between, say, like us or Auburn to host, if Auburn has, a series win over like Tennessee or they swept LSU, that's going to jump out at the committee more than us just kind of playing it safe. And yeah, these aren't bad series losses, but there's nothing really to wow us either. So you get a series win against Arizona, that's going to stick out. And then you handle business against Cincinnati and Utah, then that's going to keep us in the top 16 in RPI. And then we'll have good resume, stars on our resume. I think we get a host there.
See what I think they have to win against Arizona.
Yeah.
To your point about perception, and as crazy as it sounds, that sweep against Kansas is going to stand out at the end of the year.
But you also don't want that. You don't want the sweep against Kansas in early April to be the last awesome thing that you did.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I shouldn't overlook that, but yes, you're right.
Maybe make a little noise in the Big 12 tournament. Because
even if you got
some of these teams,
even if you went nuts and swept Cincinnati, that's fine, but that's not the same as sweeping Kansas, and you're like, okay,
right.
So, Texas just swept A&M this week, and I'm like, God, they're going to use that to prop them up to number 1 for the rest of the season,
What, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Well, they're 18-3 in SEC play.
Yeah, Texas is good.
Frauds.
They're fine.
Frauds.
No, they're not. They're good. I watched a lot of
that might be our super regional opponent if things keep trending this way.
Yeah.
So. Anyway,
and we got to win so that we're not getting sent to Austin as a 2 seed.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we wouldn't. No, Ray, we would be a high 2 seed. We'd be going to like, I don't know, Auburn or something.
Okay. Jacob, you got to get out of here?
Yeah, I got to go. I got like 10 minutes before I got to leave. I still got to walk the dog.
That's fine. So I think the last thing I had, there was nothing. We talked about Arizona. 3 conference series left. So we have Arizona. We've got Cincinnati at home. That's our last conference series at home. That's crazy. And then head to Utah. UTA on Tuesday night. That's our last midweek game. Bark in the Park. I don't know if people are paying attention, but you do need a waiver to bring your dog. I guess there's a deal with that. So
you can do it on the spot.
Yeah.
Bring your rabies vax.
Okay. There you go. What other thoughts do we have before we, I don't know, head out for tonight?
We'll have more on the deep dish on Thursday. Looking forward to this Arizona series. It's a big one.
I might try to chime in because I want to learn more from Mr. Martin himself.
Yeah, you get the emails every Thursday.
And we didn't mention what I think is just the craziest story of the year happened on Sunday.
Ray, I'm going to sign off, and you can tell. I already know what the story is, but I got to bounce. I'll see you guys.
Okay.
Good luck in your soccer game, Ray.
Thanks, man.
Jacob.
No, I'm not playing no soccer. Good God, no.
Later, Jacob.
See you, Jacob. But no, the craziest, what I think is just the craziest story this year in NCAA. So I don't know. I didn't watch much of the game, bedridden on my deathbed on Sunday, but then it starts getting around on Twitter. I saw that Stroh-Snyder had left the game.
Congrats on coming out of that, by the way. You're not dead, so that's awesome.
Not yet.
All right.
No, we went to the doctor last night, nice urgent care about 8 p.m. and got a nice shot. Those shots do wonders. But anyways, we're not here to talk about me. No, we're here to talk about Sawyer freaking Stroh-Snyder. Dude runs full blast right into, man, what a weird spot to run into the fence. It looked right where the pole and the chain link fence all come together.
I've watched it a few times and I'm like, I'm sure he hit something very hard and very sharp. But man, it's a tough look because like I'm sure he wanted that ball so bad,
Yeah,
and
dude.
then
I mean, dude just always plays all hustle all the
yes,
time. Dude immediately goes down, stuff's flying from his face, immediately scrambling to pick up a tooth that had been knocked out. Right.
did he actually pick it up himself?
I it looked like he was scrambling for something.
Okay,
I
so
assumed.
do you see him running off the field too?
Yeah.
Yeah, with
Just
his hat over his face, and you could see the blood coming out. I'm like, oh no,
huge
it's like,
gash on the face. You're thinking, oh man, did he just break his nose? Something. So, anyways, in the stands, there's an oral surgeon, just happens to be in the stands, and
big
you know,
Frog fan, by the way. Just want to throw that out there.
huge Frog fan,
Yeah.
gets in touch with TCU and is like, hey, I can help render aid from everything that I've seen in the post game, and he's able to take Sawyer straight from Lupton to his office. I'm sure they scramble and they're able to perform surgery. I saw Kirk mentioned after the game he already has one fake tooth, Sawyer does, and now he's going to have two.
Do you ever see that scene in Jack Wick where he gets shot and he shows up to the doctor's office who's like part of their deal, and he gives him a gold coin and the guy's like doing, like it's not in a hospital, it's just some guy's office and he's like trying to get the bullet out and
Yeah,
stuff.
dude, like every every back they've always got one guy like a go-to guy. Like
Yes.
you ever watch what was it like Better Call or no Breaking Bad
half a season but we just lost our account to Netflix.
Or Denzel's Man on Fire.
Yeah.
Right, where they take him to the vet
Uh-huh.
because the doctors are all corrupt there in Mexico City. I mean,
Yeah.
just something like that. So
that's Sawyer just going like, all right, hit me up, Doc. Takes a shot of tequila and it's like,
Yeah.
go for it, fix me up.
He's like, I've got UTA to prepare for.
All right, so for real, we don't expect him against UTA, but
no, I
do
would
we
imagine he's going to miss some time.
do we think he's going to miss the whole Arizona series? Nothing reported, obviously, but just thoughts, losing a tooth.
I mean, losing a tooth. I mean, I guess it depends on how bad that gash is on his face and all that,
Yeah. Good comment from David May. Stroh showed he's about winning games and not personal stats. Agreed. Yeah, agreed. He's
100%.
He's about it. So, man,
He's a gamer.
Obviously, there's a lot of things going on with the Flying T Club trying to raise money for these guys.
Dude, yeah.
But
Let's make this fraud. Let's get Sawyer where he doesn't ever want to leave. Let's make this man so rich he'll play all 4 years here because golly, dude, I love this kid.
It's crazy as a TCU fan. I mean, it's silly, right? We're sports fans. We enjoy sports. Why do we cheer for these teams that we love so much? But I get pride from Lodolo freaking smash, like shoving, going 7 innings against the Reds.
Dude, Lodolo in Coors Field, that's hitter's paradise.
Yeah.
Just goes up there and dominates, spins a gym.
I've told the story multiple times before, but I literally took my son to watch him many times because I'm like, hey, this guy will play in the major leagues and he will be awesome. And so I want you to see him now when you're young so you can say, hey, I saw that guy at Lupton, and so I hope we can do the same for Stroh and Noah Franco and
yeah,
you
should bring him and point to that dude's got it. that dude has it.
Yeah.
That's a future 10-time Major League All-Star right there.
Yeah. His prayers for his teeth. How about that? And the surgeon that did that stuff. So that cool story.
Maybe if baseball doesn't professional baseball, he could play hockey.
He'd look great with no 2 front teeth. Oh man, that guy's intense. He's gotten so many fights. All right. Good recap, Ray. This was fun. Hey, didn't get all 3 games, so at least we got 2. So better than better than
just
getting
win,
on here.
baby. Just win series.
Just keep winning series. Hey, if we win every series here on out, I think we'll be in a really good position to host. And so Arizona is going to be huge for us. So yeah, we'll see y'all at Bark in the Park tomorrow night, and then Arizona next weekend. But yeah, appreciate Long Drink. Thanks to Chinook and Induno for sponsoring us. As always, go Frogs.
Go Frogs.